we're at the halfway point, and I only have 50 minutes left before my friend arrives. God damn it, dude. This SCP reading stream has not been kind to me. But at least we will be at the, like hopefully second last by the time he comes over. In my life. Do I have anything new to talk about? I'm working on a puzzle, a 1,000 piece puzzle with wolves. Wolves, my favorite animals, by the way. If you ever want to make me happy, just send me anything wolf related. Form of study analyzing information is in how it spreads, like genetics. Yes. Yeah, I know the description or like the definition of it. But like, see, like, I always thought that the word meme came from meme tick. That's how I saw it. Like, that's what I didn't hear meme first, and I was like, oh, it has the same letters in it, so that's why it's pronounced the same. I just thought that's where the term meme came from. So that's why I call it that instead. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not coming from that. I'm just saying the pronunciation. I thought the pronunciation came from it, not the definition. Do you pronounce genetics as genetics? Well, no. But like, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I understand with that. But like, at the end, my man, my bros and hoes in the chat. If nobody tells you this, if nobody tells you how you pronounce it, you end up just saying it like that, and then you go on forever. Howard and Winvon heard me say it thousands of times, and not once did they say anything. So I just thought, like, I'm saying it correctly. This is the first time anybody's like, by the way, you're not saying it right. And now you're all surprised that I'm gonna be over here like, well, shit. I've been saying this for the past fucking 3 years. You're all attacking me. I'm not a smart man. I'm not a linguist. I'm not a linguist. So I don't know how words work sometimes. When I saw a meme, I heard meme. I see that and I'm like, oh, look, it has that thing in it. I'll go actually hear how it's said, because now I'm going to try to fix that, because I don't want go on like this. Okay, hold on. Pause the music. That's how I say it. There we go. Because like that would have been crazy if like if we had this whole discussion and then somebody's like, no, it's actually pronounced meme tick. I'd be like, pardon? Can you imagine if that was is it pronounced as the same as genetics, so like memetic? Gotcha. I'll start saying it like that. But it's so odd. Why? And also, how come this one says meme tick and this says memetic? No. You can't just throw me two different pronunciation of it. There we go, memetics. All right, we're on track now. Plus, I mean, there was that SCP-001 where it turns out Keita came from a guy named Dr. Keita, which was incredibly funny in hindsight. Okay, but Kita I'm not going to change. I just prefer saying Kita that way. Did I timestamp? I did. Okay, next one. Sisters. God, this was the longest tangent. By the way, before I go on though, don't. I hope you guys don't think I was angry or actually like frustrated with you guys when you corrected me or anything like that. To get me pissed off, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. So don't worry. If I ever like get a bit sassy or a bit loud, that doesn't mean I'm angry. That's just me being like, well, why did nobody else tell me this? Dr. Q must have been crazy ass dude for them to name all the words and anomalies after him. Turns out there's no canon. Also applies to SCP terminology pronunciation. Yeah, that's true. There's definitely no canon. So, sisters, here we go. I just want to make sure that Dr. O'Shadow doesn't think I'm actually angry at them, because that's not the case. That's not the case. Keto. SCP wants to, well, how do you know how Dr. Keto is pronounced? I don't know. SCP-1765's activity is currently... we are in a whole SAS squad right now. That's why I'm realizing. It's currently limited to the confines of Area 37, which is considered... That's another thing that happens to me quite a lot. Is that ever since I started reading SCPs, I get my numbers mixed up. And it's only when I read SCPs, like, for some reason, the 4 and 5 switch in my mind, and the 7 and which one is it? The 7 2s sometimes get switched. Like sometimes I would say a 2 instead of a 7. It's only been since I've been reading SCP stuff, and I'm like, what kind? Is some anomalous effect on me happening right now? Because it never happened before. The music's not on. It's currently limited to the confines of Area 37, which is considered its effective containment zone. Due to the SCP-1765's complete infestation of Area 37, it is considered a Type 4 corporeally unstable territory, and all Foundation personnel inside are to be considered effectively lost. A defensive perimeter has been established around Area 37 according to standard Telemachus protocol. Attempts to breach Area 37's complex have all ended with the loss of all involved mobile task force personnel, and so have been discontinued until further notice. In the event that SCP-1765's activity spreads the on-site nuclear device stored in Area 37, pardon me, you can't just drop that in the middle of the procedures. In the containment procedures, like, oh yeah, by the way, we got some nuclear devices in the back. Just so you know, may be activated with the authorization of O5 command. Due to the large volume of data produced by the activity of SCP-1765, a designated server farm has been constructed to contain it. Said server farm is to be kept isolated from all other Foundation networks. I got you were being facetious. Well, I'm very correct and have correct opinions all the time, Vin. That is how I know. Selective numbers. Lexia, relevant note. I thought facetious was pronounced face tears for a long time. The hazard in SCP-001 made you unable to read numbers. Imagine if that was the case. SCP-1765 is the collective designation for a group of 3 semi-corporeal entities, typically for manifestation as vaguely humanoid, off-white silhouettes. I mean, can we all agree, as some of us native English speakers and some of us second language English speakers, English is very fluid when it comes to like the rule of how you're supposed to read some stuff or not. Like sometimes you see something and you're like, oh, you're supposed to read it like that, and then you're like, no, you're supposed to read it like this, and you're like, what? What? You know how long it took me to like know when the A is pronounced A and not A? Like, because in German A is A, and sometimes in English A is also A. or at least close to R. You know, like it's close to the pronunciation of R. But then like other times it's not, and you're like, how am I supposed to know? If I see a word for the first time, how am I supposed to know that? It's a collective designation for typically manifestation of instances of SCP-1765 display the capacity to willfully weaken the structure of reality in the immediate presence, allowing them a limited but potent control over temporal and physical distortion within a substantial range. Instances of SCP-1765 are capable of speech, speaking 3 different toned voices described by listeners as feminine, and seem to possess individuals and consistent personalities. Yeah, English is terrible, tangentially relevant, but what the fuck is up with Sean Bean's name? The word colonel is colonel is a horrible word. I always thought it was like spelled like this. I'm going to spell it to you guys. I always thought it was like spelled like this. I always thought that's how it's spelled. But no. SCP-1765 was first introduced to Area 37 following a successful raid by Foundation forces on a Serpent's Hand cell located in nearby city of several suspect anomalous artifacts as well as 15 captured Serpent's Hand operators were retrieved and brought back to Area 37, an isolated facility specializing in the initial storage of such items. During preliminary examination of 3 of the retrieved artifacts, a small wooden loom, an enamel, how the fuck, what is that word? Needle and a glass eye, all 3 instances of SCP-1765 henceforth -1, -2, and -3 appeared and addressed attendant personnel researcher. This conversation was recorded by the testing chamber monitoring system. English is a mess, yeah. Like when you say something like, can't you buy me some ice cream? That's okay, but can't is short for cannot, but saying cannot you buy me some ice cream sounds fucked. Wait, I've never noticed this. Yeah, right. It's interesting how like an abbreviated way of saying a sentence works and the other one doesn't. Begin log. Greetings, esteemed members of the Foundation. We come to you with auspicious news. Aye. You'll be right pleased, you will. Oh, hello. What the hell? Pardon, sir. I'll be with you in a moment. 2-2 sisters? I thought we have agreed to let me do the introduction. You're embarrassing us. Oh, whoops. Go on, we'll be quiet. Apologies. Yes, as I was saying, greetings. We are pleased to finally be able to make your acquaintance, for we have observed your organization for quite some time. Indeed, we have observed a great many, and out of them all you stood out like a shining beacon of progress in the dark sea. Well done. Oh, we are so very proud. Congratulations. Would someone get security? Researcher grabs his tongue, which becomes visibly blackened and withered. What the fuck? I told you, sir. I will be with you in a moment. Where was I? Oh, right. All this considered, we have decided that you and no other are worthy of receiving our assistance. It is an honor most rare, we assure you. Like a bloody steak it is. That's how rare. Tartar! Researcher attempts to speak again and falls to the floor. His tongue crumbles to dust. He loses consciousness. Why must people always be silly? We shall have to fix that later. I keep losing my train of thought. It is most frustrating. Our help, severity, assistance. Thank you. Yes, our help. Seeing how meticulously you keep to the scientific method, we venture that we could be of most use to you. If we do the same ourselves, our abilities in that field are substantial after all. Yes, to assist you, we will conduct several useful experiments on your behalf and deliver you to the data. We believe this is the beginning of a wonderful partnership. I think he's out cold, love. Unwell. Oh, never mind him. They record everything. It's why we chose them, isn't it? Aye, that's so. Yes. So, To those who are listening, we will begin our experiments immediately, since there is hardly a point in dilly-dallying. Now, we realize that they might seem a bit harsh, but trust us, we know what is best for you. Sisters knows best. Always! This stream was worth staying up until 6 a.m. for, which it is. I'm so fucked. And we're not even like done yet. Oh god. There's more. And I'm only at, oh god, I still got 4 more to read afterwards. Why are they so long? Following this conversation, all 3 instances of SCP-1765 began to move rapidly throughout Area 37. As SCP-1765 continued circling Area 37, several events were noticed which has been associated with reality-bending phenomena. SCP-1765 eventually ceased this pattern, presumably because Area 37 had become unstable enough to suit the parameters of the planned experimentation. At the conclusion of this process, security footage revealed that Area 37 was divided into 4 distinct sections, and Area 37 personnel divided between... didn't get a response to... between them according to SCP-1765's location at the time of the event as detailed below. Section A, previously Area 37's mess hall, storekeeping, and dormitories. Also, why did you stay up? Like, I thought your new technique was to like go to bed early and wake up for my stream. What the fuck are you doing? The smallest of the sections, Section A, was the least changed by SCP-1765. Notable addition are 2 large brass vats located at the east corner of the mess hall, a monitoring station connected to the other section of Area 37, replacing storekeeping, and a large marble sign above the entrance to the dormitories reading Control Group. Personnel belonging to the Control Group are not subjected to the experimentation taking place in other sections of Area 37. Once every 5 to 7 hours, the Control Group is visited by 1 instance of SCP-1765. During said visitation, food and water are dispensed from the brass vats, and the visiting instance typically address the Control Group, often encouraging them to use the monitoring station to observe any ongoing experiments. I gotta go now, but I've had great fun on this stream. I hope to see you on the next one. Okay, Vinvan, just before you go, next weekend no stream because I'm gonna be in Ibiza, so I cannot stream from them. But the weekend afterwards, I will be back in London, and that's when we will continue with the 1770s. I was working on a big project, and I also make bad life decisions from time to time. Hope to see you on the next one too, Vin. Yeah, you make a lot of bad decisions, Howard. Section B, previously Area 37, outer grounds and sports facility. Section B is the fulcrum of a localized spatial temporal abnormality. Because of this, its size, climate, atmospheric composition, and pressure and temporal flow are all variable and are seemingly controlled by the will of -1. The entity typically overseeing experimentation in Section B. According to -1, experimentation in Section B is meant to delve into the effects of repetitive action performed under unusual conditions on the human psyche. Section C, previously Area 37's main office complex. Did they just like renovate the whole place? Is that what's happening? Section C exhibits similar anomalous properties to Section B, though it is associated with -2 rather than -1. Observation as well as limited input from -2 indicates that experiments taking place in Section C tend to focus on group dynamics and interpersonal relations during extreme conditions. On average, the physical alterations to Section C during experimentation are more radical than those observed in Section B, while temporal alternations are significantly less so. Section D, previously Area 37's high-risk containment area. Section D is currently the least understood segment of the altered Area 37 complex. Physically, it remains virtually unchanged from its state prior to its initial infestation by SCP-1765. Temporarily, however, it appears to be entirely disconnected from the baseline stream of events, existing in an isolated bubble from events occurring outside of it. The temporal reality of Section D, as well as any experimentation taking place within it are associated with -3. Due to -3, terse speech patterns and the generally obscurity of the experiments it conducts, little is currently understood about the nature of experimentation taking place within Section D. Regardless of the section an experiment takes place in, SCP-1765 will seek to provide the Foundation with high-quality video and audio feeds documenting it. This data will transfer to the nearest compatible Foundation server through currently unknown means. Footage will also often contain recorded notes by the supervising instance of SCP-1765. Howard, do me a big favor, please. Can you check if SCP-1766 till 1769, if they're long? Can you check that for me, please? Addendum A. The following is a description of a notable experiments performed by instances of SCP-1765. Section B. State of section. For this experiment, Section B mostly retains its original form other than the occasional structural shifts caused by reconstitution events as a result of the experiment. Personnel involved: researcher, agent, sanitation engineer. The test subjects are brought into Area 37's sports center. Thank you, man. From an unknown location and are each given a wrench, a ruler, a brown paper pad, and a ballpoint pen. Subjects are then instructed by -1 to closely examine the sports center plumbing system and to measure the exact length of each pipe at the angle in which it is connected to other pipes. This process takes place 10 and 12 hours due to the size of the sports center before it can be completed. However, Section B begins a reconstitution event causing the plumbing system to be completely rearranged and rendering all working previously done moot. Test subjects are then instructed to begin again. The process repeats itself 459 times before the experiment concludes. God damn. -1 notes. Following yesterday's somewhat disappointing expedition to Olympus Mons, but were the hosts rude? I have decided to attempt something less taxing on my test subjects, which are thus far proving to be both physically unimpressive and morally lacking. The simple examination of repeating sensory input and the manner in which it can be connected to other primal reactions to the point of overload should prove both useful to you and within my test subject's rather limited capability. Finally, a proof that even if we try to learn from experience, that attempt is ultimately pointless, since once life passes you by, you'll just have to learn everything all over again. That's useful knowledge, children. I do hope you are paying attention. Section C. State of section for this experiment, Section C took the appearance of a football stadium with test subjects appearing around the 50-yard line. Notably, the goalposts have been removed and replaced with concrete bunkers. The former member of Mobile Task Force IOTA-6 canvas cats 10 of the 15 captive Serpent's Hand operatives. Experiment. The experiment took place in 2 phases. On the first phase, test subjects were divided into 2 teams, both consisting of a mix of MTF personnel and the Serpent's Hand operators. Both groups were then instructed by -2 to head to the bunkers located at the end of the field. While running to these positions, several hooded figures appeared on the stadium bleachers and began bombarding the test subject with fast-moving fiery projectiles. Bombardment! Additionally, 3 meters tall curved platforms began rising from the ground, requiring test subjects to exercise teamwork in order to bypass them. Due to the mixed composition of the teams, test subjects were unable to overcome the platforms in time, and both teams were incinerated by the projectiles before reaching the bunkers. 30 seconds following this, the second phase of the experiment began with the same group of the test subjects again appearing near the 50-yard line. Subjects were again divided into 2 groups, one consisting only of MTF personnel and the other of Serpent's Hand operatives. Test subjects were again instructed to reach the bunkers. Tests proceeded as previously recorded, with both teams now able to surpass the raised platforms and reach the bunkers. At this moment, however, the doors to the bunkers closed shut and 2 previously unseen pairs of sizable metal hammers descend from an unknown ocean spot, crushing both teams to death. Okay, so where the shore is close to... Okay, so only 1767 is long. And I will look at the tail and see if... I will look at the tail, in a way that doesn't, get me in trouble. -2 notes. I saw the kitties were having a bad time with that double date thing we did, so I thought to myself, smile. Kitties today don't go for romance no more. It's too slow for them. They want excitement, sweat, and explosions in sports, so I called a few old friends of mine that were happy to help. Weren't they just? What was the name of that tall one with the robes? Madam? Maven? Or was it John? I can't remember. But I know he just loves football. We should have a grand old time even with the burning and the crushing and all. Oh, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, the test. This was a test. Yeah. See, it goes to show you that no matter who you're with, you eventually get crushed by a huge metal hammer smashing down from the sky. No, that can't be right. I got it. Doesn't matter how much you prepare and who's with you. Sooner or later, fate's gonna catch up with you. Yes, this I like. This sounds just peachy. A lesson to be learned, my lads. A lesson to be learned. Section D. Physically, Section D remained unchanged from it. I'm gonna ask my friend. Shit, he's already on his way. Fuck. I'm not done with my SCP reading stream. He's coming now! Something's wrong with Twitch, keeps freezing. It's not on my... Vinmon had a similar issue yesterday, but it's not me. Because I don't have any notification that my Streamlabs is just... At best, just refresh the page. Section D. Physically, Section D remained unchanged from its original state. Site Director... Experiment Site Director... enters Area 37 main containment vault. At the center of the vault, a table likely taken from the mess hall is placed. On the table are 2 1-liter vats of brand ice cream, 1 pistachio flavored. The other... You saying something's up? Let me check. Oh, okay, everything's good here. You don't have to finish it today, to be honest. You remember when you said when... I know you weren't there when I read that fucking 3-hour long SCP, and then I read the other SCPs afterwards as well. No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep going. 1 pistachio flavored, the other passion fruit flavored. Site Director, oops, is instructed by -3 to choose. The Site Director then chooses the pistachio flavored ice cream and leaves the room. At this point, footage momentarily blurs and Site Director returns to the room in which the unchosen vat of ice cream was replaced by a different one. This one is chocolate flavored. He's again instructed to choose, this time picking the chocolate flavored ice cream. The process repeats itself with each unpicked vat replaced by one of a different flavor. At the time of the writing of this document, the Foundation has received over 10,000 hours of footage from this experiment, with analysis identifying over 200,000 different flavors of ice cream, including meerkat marshmallow madness, tranquility, that you always liked, God's wrath, and redacted. All evidence suggests that this experiment is still ongoing. -3 notice found at the beginning of the 1,356 hour footage. Delicious. Okay. Something up, Howard? Everything okay on your side? If you have to go, you can. If you have to go, you can. You don't have to stay.